What is up, everybody? It's the commissioner here, the mailman, Jimmy Milstead. And this is the League Fantasy Hockey Storks Desk, episode 7. And it's Sunday night, uh, November the 12th, 2023. An exciting day of hockey tonight. I've got my deputy commissioner, Kevin Stork from British Columbia, Canada. And joining us tonight, filling in for the Colonel, is Scott Lanham, the firefighter. Scott, we're celebrating Vets Day yesterday, Vets
Yes.
Day weekend. How are you doing, sir? Thanks for your service, and glad you could join us tonight, gentlemen. Scott, we'll start with you first.
Well, thank
How's
you
your
for your
week?
service as well, there, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And to all the men and women out there who stumbled upon this fantasy hockey podcast, uh, thanks for your service as we enjoy the freedoms that we have here, both in Canada and the United States. But Scott, yeah, how's your weekend, sir?
It was good.
You a couch?
I spent it at my parents' house for celebrating my birthday and my niece's birthday. So we did it this past weekend. Then I was in sunny Fort Lauderdale to start the week off,
Ooh, that's
enjoying that
nice.
85-degree weather.
Yeah. Well, I know how that is. I think the last time we talked to you, me and Stork, it's been like a little while. We still have to review last week's action. I was celebrating my parents' 50th anniversary, and I was in South Carolina. And it was kind of warm at the time. I'm sure. I think they said it got colder since I left, but 80 degrees is hot as shit for me. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I got a Coors Light available here. I'm off tomorrow, guys. I have a 3-day weekend. Uh, I didn't have Friday off, but Saturday was the holiday observed. Today's my, Sunday. I don't deliver mail. Tomorrow's my non-scat day. So, cheers to the parents. Cheers to Scotty and Stork. Let's go to Stork. Stork, your power was out Friday. We were going to do the Stork's Desk episode 7 here. God, your lights are back on. Storky, you're out of the dark. What happened there, buddy?
Oh man, I had just went to bed on Friday night, and it was a little breezy, and I thought, okay, I wanted to get up early because lots of sports on Saturday, so I wanted to make sure I got up in time to check my lineups and check all the leagues that I'm in, and so I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and the power was out. And of course,
Wow,
I
yeah.
didn't know this was going to happen. So my phone was down to like 12%. So by the time I woke up, it was down to like 10%. And I thought, okay, it'll be up in a couple hours. They'll fix it. I looked outside and I could see branches everywhere and all kinds of stuff going on. I sat the whole day and it didn't turn on till about 7:30 that evening. So I missed
Wow.
all the games.
Jesus.
Couldn't set my lineups. That's why I was making sure you had to look for me just to make sure my lineups were set. Yeah, I was hell, man. I mean, Remembrance Day, and here I'm sitting in a cold house and I'm eating sandwiches because we couldn't cook nothing, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a horrible Saturday, man. They could do that on Monday. That would be great.
Right.
But
Right.
on a Saturday, hockey night in Canada, I missed the Leaf
Yeah.
Canuck game. But
Outstanding.
yeah, it was not a lot of fun yesterday. Hey, there we go,
Look
Scott.
at oh
Hey,
Scott's gonna take
since my Caps lost to him too, I'll do it with Jimmy once he gets it done.
Nice. I love it.
yeah. Scott is so gracious to join us and for the Colonel. By the way, the Colonel is sick this week. We haven't seen him in quite a while, Stork, about 3 weeks. He's been busy, but he was going to join us this week. The show kept getting pushed back, and he's sick today. So get well, Colonel. It looks like his fantasy team's going to help him out, but his Minnesota Wild look like crap. But I will pay up my debt as well, Stork.
Nice.
I don't know if that shows up very well, but the last time you won, 1967. Do you know all the names? I don't know if you can see them all, but
I know them all, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see the logo here, but I'm paying my debt.
Nope.
This is the one I thought was cool. Scott, so gracious to join us. If nobody knows what the hell we're talking about, during the Frozen Frenzy, what was it, week 2 of our fantasy season, or week 3, it was one of those weeks. Me and you had a bet, and your Maple Leafs beat our Capitals 4-1. So we'll do this again. Nick Reedy will owe me and Scott a Capitals logo. So we'll do the show with the Leafs here in the background. I will transition a couple times to some other slides like Don Cherry's rankings, but I'll put back the 1967 Leafs here, buddy. Leafs are giving you some entertainment, winning and dying in some games, probably driving you nuts, Stork. What'd you think? You didn't get to see the Leafs Canucks, but they pulled it out. They pulled out a big win over against the Calgary Flames. It's Hall of Fame weekend there in Toronto. What'd you think of Leafs? What's going on in Leafs Nation for you right now?
The Leafs are bipolar, man. They've been bipolar all year. They look great one minute, and the next minute they look like the Keystone Cops. But that kind of shows why they're 8-5, and they could have been easily like 10-3. But they just they have time in between games that they just fall apart, and it's cost them some wins. But at least they get to go to Europe now with a 2-game winning streak. But they don't play until I think Friday now. And as you know, they're going and they're playing Minnesota, and also I think Detroit. I think they're playing in Frankfurt, I believe it is.
Yeah, they're with Ottawa, right?
What's that?
I believe Ottawa's over there with Detroit, right?
That could be, yeah.
Okay.
But they don't play Ottawa there, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the schedule, but I know those are going to be early start times. We'll have to put the word out to the league. So that'll be interesting as the Global Series heads overseas. A couple of teams. Your Leafs, William Nylander. He was actually born over here, but he's Swedish.
Yeah, he was born in Winnipeg, actually.
Yeah, I know he grew up in Maryland.
Really?
Yeah,
that's right.
Capital.
When his dad was playing with Washington.
His dad was Cap. Yeah, I totally wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah. So hopefully, when he has to he's been hot, by the way. You got to be happy with Willie. Whether or not he's going to be in a Leafs uniform next year, worry about this year, and enjoy him with Matthews is rolling, Mitch Marner. Get that defense under control. Holy crap, Klingberg been struggling, but on to the Capitals, Scotty. Our Caps, they're doing way better than I expected. They swept the Metro road trip this weekend, beating the New Jersey Devils, albeit without Jack Hughes. What'd you think? We beat the Islanders too in a rematch after they beat us with Varley 3-0. You had Varley that
the
time,
first time, yes.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of our Capitals? I think they're well coached by Spencer Carberry.
Yeah, I think honestly, Connor McMichael is looking phenomenal. I'm just glad to see Ovi finally score because as we were talking, I almost benched him last night and he picked up 2 goals. Thank God.
Yes, Storky. Scotty was messaging me offline and wondering what he was just, I'm sure he would have started him anyways, but I told him to start.
Ovi.
Yeah, I think me and Scott play this week. I told him he can bench Ovi this week, but Ovi, I'm never going to be worried about Ovi. Of course, he's struggling. What is he, up to 4 goals now? Hit an empty netter last night. He's at 826. He's slow out the gates, but his shot's been humming. The power play needs work there. Johnny Carlson looks good. The Caps decor is really banged up. He's logging a half hour of ice. I don't know how he can sustain that, but he's proven as long as Carlson's feeling good, he's the centerpiece of that D. We lost Ram Reemsdyke, Faravari, and Sandin got beat up a little bit, but he stayed in. Physical game against the Devils, but Caps trying to figure it out here. They're on a 7-1-1 stretch. They're shocking me, buddy. Scott, we got the Vegas Golden Knights on Tuesday, so
Yeah,
buckle up.
not looking too good for us.
Yeah, I can't wait for this team to hit the road. They've had so many home games. They're back on another homestand. While all these other teams have been hitting the road. They'll be hitting the road though here after the Thanksgiving time
Yeah,
frame.
it sounds like we're gonna have a long road trip.
Yeah, but like as everybody teams by American Thanksgiving, I got to tip my cap to Spencer and the Caps. They're competitive right now, and technically they're in third place at the moment. I know there's some teams in action right now in the Metro, Columbus and Rangers. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but tip of the cap there to the Capitals. But we got a crash course here, guys, to review Week 4. That was an exciting week, and we'll get into this week's. Oh, Scott's like, no, we won't. I know. I had a heartbreaker versus Wayland myself. Let's review those scores real quick. Week 4 saw the Washington Wendigo defeat my team, the Ada Americans, 9-8. I just had a bad Sunday to not catch Wayland there. Wayland's battling you, or no, not you, Scott. He's battling the defending champions. Storky, you had a heartbreaker as well. You lost to the defending champions. This was a divisional week last week. DB Cooper, the champs, 10-9. They beat you for the first time ever, buddy. That was an entertaining
I was up
match.
all week too.
Yeah,
I was way up all week. I lost that game on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, we'll look at that in a minute. Mark Woods, Woody Woodpeckers, they're going to take one on the chin this week, but they won last week to go to 3-1, beating the struggling Killer Bunnies. Stork Dan Hull's been struggling out of the gates. He's in danger of going 1-4 after this week, but he lost last week 11-8, first ever meeting between those two. By the way, Wayland beat me for the first time ever in regular season play last week. Probert Etiquette went to 4-0. They stomped on Huma. Julio is my opponent, and we're trading punches as we speak. I think Julio is going to escape and beat me this week. 14-7, though, Probert beat Julio last week. He gave Dave a game in the beginning of the week. Like Scott said, he had his first ever tie. Him and the new team, Cherry Bombs, Alex, went 10-10. Alex goes to 2-1-1.
Down at the wire, tied it up.
Yeah, Scott, you're like Ovi, a rusty start out the gate, but you might get
that Probert Etiquette going down this week to the fire brigade.
Yeah, that would be a huge win for you. And then the Colonel, who's not here, he lost to DuPont Pipelines 10-9 last week to go to 1-3. But Nick is on the rebound this week. We'll dive into this week. So anything stand out to you, Stork, back in week 4? Like I said, a heartbreaking match for me against Wayland. I'm still sour about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of us were sour about last week. I really thought I was going to pull a victory out, and like I said, Sunday the goaltending killed me, and I went from a 14-7 lead to a 10-9 loss all in one day, and that's hard to stomach. So I decided this week I was going to make sure that didn't happen against the Woodpeckers. You got to respect them and Mark. So I wanted to make sure that I got that lead and hang on to it. But yeah, I mean, we're into week 5 now, which is about a quarter through the season, and still lots of hockey left. So teams that are struggling out of the gate still have lots of time to get it together.
Yeah. Well, Donnie boy, I don't know if you can see the whole slide. I'm trying to. I got myself in the corner. I can't see it all, but if you can indulge me here, Probert up here at the top stayed the same. DB Cooper getting a lot of respect. Oh, I got cats flying everywhere over here. Where the wife is. The wife's going nuts. Stork, you had a windstorm. We got. Cats
we got
here,
cat storms
causing natural disaster. They knocked something over. Sorry guys. DB Cooper, the defending champs. you know, they got a revamped team, and they still are getting it done, buddy. Cherry's got him at number 2 coming in to this week. The Wendigo with a huge win over me last week stayed at 3. Pretty much everybody stayed the same for Cherry last week, except for the bottom. Nick went down 1, and DuPont went up 1 after getting his first win last week against Nick. Scotty, what do you think of your ranking? You were pretty much never below like 5 last year. Don Cherry, he loves your team. He's usually a jock sniffer of the Nova Fire Brigade.
Week 2, he dropped me down to near the bottom, but
yeah,
he got me back up. Yeah.
And Stork, you were ranked 10 last week, or after week 4. Thoughts on that one?
It's Don Cherry. What do I care?
Yeah.
He's old and feeble.
He should have a lot more movement this week after pretty much kept a lot of the guys the same there after the week 4 results. And here were the week 4 results once again. You probably can't see the whole slide. I got to have a full
I can actually.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah, okay, I can see the whole slide, man.
So that is how that went. I had the other matchups, but I'll put the Leafs logo back up. So currently, we're winding down week 5, guys. I'll read the scores off real quick. I got to say, the match of the week advertised by Don Cherry was Nova Fire Brigade and Probert. Also, I thought DB Cooper, Washington Wendigo would be a lot more fireworks than it is. But, Scott, I got to tell you, Adna and Hume have been trading punches. I'm running out of steam. Right now, Julio's got me 11-10, and the category to watch is shots 109 to 108. Julio's up by 1, and I still got Leo Carlson going. Is that Rangers game final? I don't know. You guys could probably elaborate more, but what a dogfight, Huma. I'm gonna tip my cap right now, win or lose. Julio, I had a match with Mark Wood last year, Scott. I won it in overtime with a Brandon Tanev overtime winner when he was at the still with the Kraken, but that was probably my favorite match to follow all time in this league. But Julio, this is a great follow. I'm probably gonna lose, but Julio, a swig of beer for the Huma. They're gonna get a big victory here. And guys, I'm like 2 wins ever against the Gretzky division, guys. I'm terrible, but Julio, a swig of beer for a great match. We'll see how that one goes. Probably by the time this show ends. Storky, a big rebound week for you. 13-7. You're leading Mark Wood. This will help guys in the Ovechkin division. You guys really put a lot of points up. Anything in your matchup you'd like to talk about? You're doing a pretty good job in goaltending.
Yeah, my goaltending's. My goaltending's been pretty good all season, really. But I've been out goaltendered through a couple of these games, which is shows in my record. But I'm going to get back to 500. I'm pretty confident. Going to go back up to 2 and 3, and of course Don Cherry's not going to move me up in the rankings, and he'll probably see I'm going to lose again next week. But that's okay. Yeah, it's been a bit of a shaky start for my team. I really I like my roster, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to get it together and go on a streak.
Yeah, I recall you do pretty well against the OV teams, unlike me against the Gretzky. But we will see the official results of that one here as the games come down to the wire. Scotty, like I said, Don Cherry had you guys as the match of the week. Dave, for some reason, ran out of gas. I think he tinkered around with some goaltending.
Oh, God, he picked up goaltending all week long, it seemed like.
Yeah, because I know he talked to me. He told me Carter Hart was sat out because he was sick on a game.
Right.
Yeah.
But your goaltending, Scott, might be the best combo in the league. Want to care to talk about your team?
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, this week picked up another shutout. That was my demise last week. I would have won easy hands down if I would have played Aiden Hill when Vegas played Colorado, who had the shutout, which would have gave me, I would end up winning like by 3 points. But I decided to go with Allmark going against Detroit. That was a bad move. This week, give it to Probert for points. Oh my God, he has 35 assists for 47 points, killing it on the power play. It's like, wow. Luckily, I got him in goals, and I'm completely dominating him in faceoffs. 200 right now. 233 faceoff wins to his 98.
Wow.
Yeah, 200. I haven't even hit 100 faceoff wins, Scott. That's unbelievable. I'm worried about me versus you, buddy.
But yeah, luckily he picked up some hitters today. McTavish had like 8 hits last time I looked at it, but luckily I've been able to counter, so I've been able to stay ahead of him on hits. So yeah, I think I'm pulling out a upset here.
Yeah, Dave, he's obviously missing Jack Hughes, but it's unbelievable how his team still puts up power play points. He's got a kid named Cole Caulfield in Montreal. This guy's winning games. I noticed he picked up Alexei Lafreniere. He's got 2 goals tonight, or this week, or tonight. So yeah, he's gonna lick his wounds off this one. A big win for the Nova Fire Brigade. I think I got Scotty frozen. Can you see him there, Storky?
Yeah, I see him, but he's frozen.
Okay.
I'm frozen.
We can hear you. We can hear you though, Scott. So.
But I can still see the Leaf logo, so I'm good, man.
Yeah, that's all he cares about. But DB
frozen?
Cooper.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's frozen on my end.
It doesn't. Yeah, you're frozen, man.
Oh. Well.
Weird.
Huh.
But we can figure it out while
we can hear you
going.
fine.
Yeah. What was I talking about here? Okay, to the defending champion DB Cooper, they're convincingly winning now, 13-5 over Wayland squad. That's going to help out folks in the Ovechkin division. Scott is going to love that one. DB Cooper continues to find ways to dominate in every facet of the game. 49 points this week, Stork.
Crazy.
His power play looks pretty good. And his goaltending, it's not that great, but he's beaten Wayland. Wayland lives and dies by the mercenary pickups in nets. I noticed Darcy Kemper hasn't played much this week, Scott. We know that. But Jason Robertson on DB Cooper, it was his first-round draft pick, and he had a whale of a game tonight. The Stars beat Nick Reedy's Minnesota Wild 8-3. So no wonder Nick is not showing up tonight. He has got to be sick to his stomach. What about an Oliver Ekman-Larsson? This guy's found a new life down there in Florida, Stork. I know he had a goal against the Caps on TNT Wednesday. He's kind of feeling it. I like the way Florida Panthers are rolling, Stork. You been watching any Panthers games?
Yeah, I have actually, and well, I mean, he became a bit of a forgotten soul in the NHL, and he seems to like it in Florida, and they're starting to roll. They got off to a bit of a shaky start, but they're starting to roll. Kachuk is starting to do something, and Barkov and Birdie Gay and all that guys. They've got a good team, and when Bobrovsky plays well in net, they're a tough team.
Yeah, I watched the game today. I think while you guys were probably watching football, the Florida Panthers. Scott, hopefully he comes back. He just logged out, I guess. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's probably trying to reset.
Yeah, but Bedard, did you watch that Florida game versus the Panthers?
Yes.
Chicago.
Yeah.
This guy, he is feeling it, and he's lighting it. He's heating up. The Colonel Nick Reedy, I wanted him on the show for tonight. Tim Piper Kelly wanted me to talk about it. That's his player. I think he's getting ready to heat up. Stork, maybe a big. He had 2 goals today. That first goal, he stripped the defenseman, Mahura, and he just made Bobrovsky kind of look silly there. I mean, the Panthers get last laugh. They get the win. But Connor Bedard is the real deal, buddy. What'd you think of his game today? He's up to 9 goals, and
he's looking more impressive all the time, really. I mean, he's not even comfortable in the NHL yet, but he's sure playing like it. And I think I predicted that he might get 75 points this year, which is pretty good for a rookie. He might
Yeah,
he might beat that. I mean, we knew this kid was the real deal, and he was the next chosen one for the NHL. And he's proven every game that he's getting better and better. And I mean, what's most impressive, Jimmy, is that he's playing on a team that's not very good. Can you imagine this kid playing on a first line on a Vegas or
man.
I
Yeah.
mean, he'd be leading in the league and scoring already. But I mean, like he right now he's probably one of the best players in the NHL, and he's playing for Chicago, who are far from going anywhere in the playoffs or anything like that. I don't think anyway. But he's carrying that team to respectability, and they don't even belong there really.
Yeah, he makes me want to watch him. That's for sure. Him and Kevin Korchinski on the blue line. He takes some chances. He's a kid that'll get back after he makes maybe a too deep of a pinch. But yeah, they're going to draw in some free agents here in the coming years, and you got to watch out for the Blackhawks again. But hats off, Connor Bedard. We're probably going to tell you. I think Scott's back.
There
Scott,
he
welcome
is,
back. There he is. There he is. I
and
knew
he's
he'd be
not
back.
frozen.
Yeah.
Well,
For
Scott's here.
some
Go
reason
ahead.
my Skype locked up, so I had to actually go into the manager and completely close it out to get it to come back up.
Well, we could hear you all right.
Oh yeah, your audio was great, but it's all good. What we were talking about, Scott, while you were gone, we watched Connor Bedard today. Have you been able to catch any Connor Bedard games? He had 2 great goals today in a loss to Florida. But
I saw
what
the
are your
one
thoughts on Connor?
sent that you posted up on the page.
Yeah, it was sick. Tim's in Hawaii this week. I think he saw it, but he's enjoying him on his fantasy team, and he is looking pretty good. I got to get back to those scores real quick, guys, for this week. Tim, that was last week. He beat Nick. Where was my stat tracker? Right here. Tim is enjoying a 12-8 lead, guys, over the Cherry Bombs, the new team. Tim's getting back in it, Storky, there in your Gretzky division. The Gretzky's kind of getting to be an interesting division. Unfortunately for Cherry Bombs, breaking news today, guys. McDavid and the Oilers, albeit they won against Seattle. Your thoughts, guys, on the firing of Jay Woodcroft? Oilers head coach is no longer, and Manson, the assistant coach, is out. Um, Speaking of cats, I just saw one go pop behind Storky there. Or was that your dog? I don't know. But,
Oh, you did too, yeah.
yeah. But we'll go with Scott. What'd you think? Edmonton Oilers, they are just as shocking. They lost to the San Jose Sharks earlier this week. That's probably what was the final death knell in Woodcroft. You
Yeah.
think the Edmonton Oilers can make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously McGee's and Draisaitl, they'll turn it around. And yeah, I mean, obviously I think it was probably a good call with the coach. I mean, they are underperforming with the expectations they have, with the team they have. I mean, you would expect them to be one of the favorites every year with that team. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse that team went to 2-9 for the season. Not with the talent they have, and I mean, as you know, Draisaitl and McDavid, they've both been very quiet all season. They look out of sync. McDavid isn't McDavid. Draisaitl isn't Draisaitl. And I mean, it's quite clear that there was a problem with the coaching staff in Edmonton. I don't think they were on the same level as the players, and something had to be done because there was obviously something wrong. And it's not just the goaltending and the defense in Edmonton. I think it's the whole structure of their plans and their what they want to do. I don't think the players were buying into the coaching system.
Yeah, and well, I mean, the big thing, like you said, the goaltending. Jack Campbell's out your way, Stork. Or no, he played in a game in Abbotsford. He plays for Bakersfield, I guess, or
And
the
lost.
Edmonton farm system. But he,
and got
he
peppered.
lost. Unbelievable.
He's such a good
So,
guy too. I feel really bad
yeah,
for him because he is a good guy. He's just one of the good guys in hockey, and I do feel bad for him. But I don't know what's going on with Campbell. I mean, when he started out, he had a lot of promise, and of course, he's making over $5 million in Edmonton. They thought he was the one, the answer for their goalie problems, and it's been just a complete disaster for him. And I really do feel bad for him. I hope he gets his game back together and gets back in the NHL soon.
Yeah.
multitasking here, guys. We got the Rangers and Blue Jackets in overtime. I still got it as 3-3. I don't know. I don't have that on my TV. I have the Ducks game, but back to that matchup. That's big reason why Alex is struggling. Connor McDavid is just not
Yes.
being the Connor McDavid.
Yes.
But she does have Frank Vetrano. This guy's been on fire. He scored tonight.
Twice.
Guy for the Ducks. Yeah. So she's enjoying some good offense from some certain guys. She finally got Matt Boldy back, but she it looks like she just tied DuPont, by the way. Yeah, Frank Vetrano, as I talk about that, has helped her. And she has the Rossi kid. He had an assist tonight in that Minnesota beatdown, or Minnesota loss. And she's got John Quick in the nets tonight. So if she can pull out a victory here, she will tie DuPont in wins. So that game might be final for all I know. My stat tracker is not showing it. But Cherry Bombs, as we're talking right now, 10-10 tie with DuPont. So we'll see how that final goes here before the show ends. And real quick, Frozen Norseman, 15-6. A get-right week for Nick as he's ailing health-wise. Hopefully he is healthy tomorrow to talk about it. He is another offensive juggernaut, boys. He's got Brady Tkachuk, or no, Matt. He's the one that has Matt Tkachuk, huh? Or no. Dan Hall has Matt Tkachuk. He's not getting enough offense. He had a roster problem where he couldn't get William Nylander in on that big Friday night game. I was looking at Dan's roster. Nick's roster, he's got the 1-2 punch of Zuccarello and Kaprizov. So he kind of lives and dies with his Minnesota Wild. But Rupe Henson and the Dallas Stars are heating up. He's had some good success with Victor Hedman this year. Vic Hedman is having a great offensive year. And Reinhart had an unbelievable 4-point day today there in Florida. We talked about the Panthers. And he's getting pretty solid goaltending from Connor Ingram in Arizona. So any thoughts, boys, on Nick Reedy's Frozen Norseman while he's not here? We usually give him a hard time. I think he was going to be out of the cellar this week.
Yeah, it's quite possible. It'll probably make him feel a little better to get a victory under his belt, because I know how I would feel if my team lost 8-3. I mean, they're underachieving themselves, and he'll probably admit it. They just don't look right now either. Of course, they're not in as bad a shape as like Edmonton, but wow, I watched that game today, and they weren't clicking at all. It was horrible to watch them play like that.
So with Woodcroft being the first head coach, who do you guys think not that I endorse anybody getting fired, but is there another coach that probably needs a really good week here before Thanksgiving to keep their job? What about DJ Smith there in Ottawa, Storky? Senators, I think they're still a good team, and they play hard for DJ Smith. I've heard a lot of rumors that he might be kind of going to be one of the guys on the outs. So.
Well, he could, but he got the players backing, and that's probably what's keeping him in there right now, because the players like to play for him, and they're gonna give him some more time to get that team together, because, like you said, Ottawa has a good squad. They got really nice defensemen. They've Stutzel's been a little quiet, and he's something else. But even he's been quiet, and Bathurst, Batherton's been quiet. A lot of guys have been real quiet on that team. And it's just a matter of time before they break out and go on a big streak. I hate the Senators, by the way, because they're arch rivals with Toronto. But I gotta be honest. I worry about Ottawa because they do have a good team.
On the flip side, boys, I'll go ahead, Scott.
I'm just saying, I was agreeing that they do have a good team, and they're still young, so
yeah,
they're just once they start to gel again, they'll probably be hard to stop.
On the flip side, gentlemen, I love what Rick Tockett's doing in Vancouver as far as coach of the year. I can't remember if any of us had him as coach of the year. Stark and Nick, we both had our Jack Adams predictions. I gotta dig those up again, but I think he's been phenomenal for Vancouver. They won again tonight. They beat the Montreal Canadiens, who've been a pesky team, as we're getting all the Canadian teams in here, talking about all the Canadian teams. Stork, big 5-2 win for the Vancouver Canucks. I think this team is going to be every bit as challenging for the Vegas Golden Knights in that Pacific. Them and the LA Kings. The Kings lost to the Flyers the other night. The Kings have cooled off a little bit. Their struggles is goaltending. I can attest to that. I have Cam Talbot. He's been really good and he's been really bad. Well, not really bad, but like could be better. He might be the reason I get costed a victory this week, but they're not getting the goaltending I think they should. Phoenix Copley has the worst save percentage I've ever seen. Scott, it's in the 700s if you go look at his. I don't think anybody has Copley on their team, or will be picking him up. But Phoenix plays better than that. But if the Kings want to go anywhere, guys, I think they're going to need to acquire a goalie somehow. So your thoughts on the Pacific there, Stork, Vancouver? You think they're any challenge for Vegas?
It's hard to say. I mean, the Canucks do have some interesting pieces in their lineup, but I don't know if they can do this over an 82 game season. But I mean, they definitely got off to a good start. They like playing for Tocchet. Tocchet is the player's coach. Of course, being an ex-player, he knows what he knows the system. He's got the Canucks playing in a system of hard-nosed hustle hockey, and that's how he was as a player. He never gave up. He was a grinder and a mucker, and he's got the Canucks playing that way, and they seem to like playing for him, and you never know what can happen. I'm surprised they came out to such a fast start, but I'm still a little skeptical of whether they can hold that for an 82 game season.
Fair enough. I'll go to Scott here. Just in the finals, Rangers get a shootout victory over the Columbus Blue Jackets, so they'll win that game 4-3. Talking about their coach, Scott Lavey. What do you think of his job? He leaves the Caps. He goes to the Rangers. Rangers leading the Metro. I didn't see this coming. I had them out.
Nor did I.
I had them being the first team missing the playoffs because I wasn't sure if Lavey could communicate with the young guys, but he's getting there. Your thoughts, Lavey Elliott?
Obviously, that's the big shock right there, because knowing what he did in Washington, he didn't want the young guys. That was half the reason why he got booted. Mm. And then he goes to Rangers, and it's a completely different story. But I mean, Lavey actually looked good the first year he's with us. He seems to be good the first year or two. Then he falls off, and it seems like that's been his way with every coaching job he's had.
Yeah, I think he kind of warms out his welcome after a while.
Well, Scotty, Mason McTavish just scored. Let's take a look at your score. The Ducks just went up 3-1. Do you have this game in hand?
So I still am 12-9. Yeah, he just scored, so he's only 2 goals behind me now.
Okay, because I'm loving these Ducks guys. I know Nick last year said expect big things from them. I mean, they got so much talent. Storky, this Leo Carlson, he's the biggest reason I'm even in this game. with Julio, Leo Carlson, Adam Fantilli. We already mentioned Bedard. This rookie class might be the best I've ever seen. Leo Carlson had a hat trick, Storky, on Friday versus the Flyers, albeit a loss. There's been a lot of hat tricks lately and a lot of shorthanded points.
Yeah.
Storky.
I've been saying it all year, man. The shorthanded goals this year are just crazy, man.
Wyatt Johnston, for me, had 3 shorty points this week. I expect him to be their first or second star this week. I'm going to tell you right now. Dallas Stars, he's not a rookie. He's considered a second-year player. This kid, Wyatt Johnston of the Dallas Stars, look out. This kid, he's the only reason Adna is with Julio this week. Well, him and Leo and Fantilli, but I'm living and dying with my young guys right now. Not getting enough from Tage Thompson, but I am hanging by a thread, guys. Yeah, Scott, you are up 12-9. And the Ducks just scored again. I can't tell who the Sharks are just a mess right now.
Yeah.
So Storky, you're gonna pretty much win against Woody Woodpeckers. I am just looking to try and beat Julio in shots. Julio is up 109-108, and he's got Cam Fowler. So there's something to play for here for me as we're talking on the show. As Week 5 non-divisional week, Ovechkin versus the Gretzky is still ongoing. I'm nervous, guys. I don't know if I can pull this one out, but before we end the show, do you guys want to look at next week's matchups?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I know Scott is ready and licking his chops as he is going to be playing me.
Oh.
I believe.
I think you have the series against me.
Yeah, I think I'm up 2-1, but that's regular season. I didn't play in the playoffs.
Right.
So let's go to those matchups. We're back to divisional play next week. If my page wants to click over, there we go. So Adna. Wait, I just went one. There we go. Adna will take on the Nova Fire Brigade. That will be. It's always a tough series with Scott. Storky, you are going to be taking on your rivals Tim Kelly DuPont Pipelers, as there's a big fight on the TV right now. Duclair and Carrick are just wailing away. So Langley and DuPont, I'm enjoying that series. The champion, DB Cooper, they're going to have their hands full with Julio. I think Julio is a really good team. I think he's going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
He's giving me all kinds of fits. Mark Wood's going to get his first crack at the Cherry Bombs. And Alex, that should be a get-right game for one of those two teams, whether or not they win or not. Dave's next challenge will be Nick, and I think that's going to be a good match. Nick has the offense to match Probert. Probert's still without Jack Hughes. And then the Killer Bunnies, they'll get their first crack at Wayland of the Washington Wendigo. Which matchup besides y'all's do you think is going to be the matchup of the week?
Oh. I'll let you go first, Storky.
Well, I think there's a couple of interesting matches coming up next week. I think the Cherry Bomb and Woodpecker game. I think you're going to see the Cherry Bombs get together, because I really think that McDavid is going to start going on a roll, and that's going to help her for sure. And of course, with the Killer Bunny Washington game, the Killer Bunnies do not want to fall to 1-5, so they're going to have to go after Washington next week, because it looks like they're going to lose this week for sure. But Dan, welcome to our league. You better get going, because these guys will eat you for breakfast if you don't get it going, man. So, but expect Dan to bounce back, because he's a good fantasy hockey guy, and his team will bounce back. And like I've said this all year, Jimmy, as you know, I think we're going to have a real interesting finish this year, because parity is just it's already showing in the standings. Nobody's running away with anything. Probert got brought down to earth again. Parity's going to rule this league all season.
Yes, Scotty. Over in the Ovechkin, if things hold, the Woody Woodpeckers are going to be 3-2. The Wendigo will be 3-2. You will improve to 2-2-1. You've got that weird tie that helped Waylon out a lot last year.
Yep.
You and the Cherry Bombs have a tie. If she can pull it out, she'd be the same. A loss by me, I would fall behind you guys at 2-3, and the Killer Bunnies would be 1-4. He's the only one that would probably really need to put some effort with a big streak. I think he can do it, by the way. But the Ovechkin is going to be tight with the way things go.
It's a long season.
Yeah, I still think looking at Scott, not to pump his tires while he's on our show, but I still think he has the team to beat with that goaltending. He had a sluggish start, but watch out. Nova Fire Brigade, they're going to feel really confident with the big win over Probert. And I know Probert, he wanted to run the table, Scott. Dave talked to me.
Well,
he
can still beat me, but it's coming down to the wire. But yeah,
the Ducks currently are up on the Sharks here in the third with 15 minutes, 4-1. That's the last game of the week. So, yeah.
I'll say the one thing that might hurt me is with you mentioned my goaltending. The only problem is they're both 1A1. It's a 1A 1B situation, so they're not. Actually, I think Hill has actually played now a back-to-back game, but other than that, they're between Hill and Thompson, and then Swayman and Allmark. They keep flip-flopping, so that's actually put me in a tough situation a couple times where I've had to pick up a goaltender to get to the 3 because of the way that they'd both be playing the same night.
Yeah.
So it's put me in a rough situation sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. And then Storks Gretzky, if the things hold up, Probert will get their first loss, be 4-1. But look at the champs, Stevie Cooper. If they hold on, they're going to be 4-1. That's a tie there for first place in the Gretzky. And then it's all just like all muddled. You got DuPont that looks like they might be 2-3 possibly. Frozen Norseman get right week 2 and 3. Storky, you're 2-3, and then Huma, if they hold on versus me, they would be 2-3. So it's nuts there in the Gretzky, and it's only week 5 or completed week 5s, but it's the parity. I love it, boys. So let's go with 5 minutes left here around the table. Anything you guys want to talk about? We got the Global Series coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up. We still don't have the Winter Classic for a little bit, but what has been most impressive, I guess, for you guys here at the first stretch of the season? Anything stand out that you want to talk about? It's like an open floor here to close out episode 7 of the Storks Desk. It could be fantasy too.
I'll just say, like, for the fantasy wise, even though, like, I was just mentioning how the goalie situations put me in a tough situation, I like what we did with the 3 starts. That definitely made, I think, the goaltending situation better than compared to last year.
Yeah, that seems to be the majority. I don't think anybody's upset about that change in our structure. God, I forget what somebody brought up that I wanted to bring up. I'm going to have to write that down next time. It involved goaltending, Stork. Shoot. Man, my brain is not operating right now. I think Waylon might have brought it up. I don't know if it was like amount of goalies you could have on your roster. I don't know.
Well, that you have to make sure you don't have too many goalies on your roster. That's for sure. So that was brought up. They're right about that. You can't be hoarding goaltenders.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like Scott said, I like the 3-start rule for the week. It keeps teams honest and keeps them on their toes. A couple of teams have already lost games because they fell short in the goaltending.
Yeah.
And you really got to watch that because that's a lot of slots to be taken away from you if you lose your goaltending stats. That makes it really tough to win. And those 2 teams that did that, they did lose that week. And, I like the 3-start rule. I like it over what we did last year. I like that we took the games played out. and just kept the 3-start rule, and it's working out fine. I don't think anybody's opposed to the way we've got it going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys ever see anything, write it down and let me know. I know I gotta start
Oh,
writing
so you
stuff
can
down.
forget, you mean?
Yeah, I there was a big time topic somebody brought up to me. I wanted to bring up on the show, but I'm sure it'll come up again. It's not coming to mind here. Oh, I know another thing, Stork, in your leagues. I noticed in my league I still have it open before a game start that you can pick up players. In your leagues, before the first game throughout the whole day, you have to get your rosters set. What do you guys think of that? Do you like? I mean, Stork, I know you're probably a big fan of it because you have it in your leagues.
Well,
I don't know if
I
Scott, do you
have no
understand?
choice actually. ESPN is set up that way, so I'm used to it now after 14 seasons, and I don't mind it. You gotta pick your players for whatever you want to sign for that day before the games start. And I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of like the way we do it here too,
Yes.
because
Okay.
it gives you a chance to sign somebody up and put them in the lineup even after games start. So I don't mind that either.
No,
It's
I definitely like the way we have it because, like you're talking with the ESPN, I'm in a fantasy football, and just notice one of my players for tomorrow is out, and I can't pick anybody up because it's
Yeah.
locked.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
only locked because if that player has one of the players, you can't drop a player that's already played.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can sign somebody for like Monday night, but you got
See,
to drop a player that is also playing Monday night.
right.
Yeah.
For our football
Yeah,
league,
if the
it's
player is already played, you can't
no.
drop him.
I mean, no. Even if the player, if I had like bench players that haven't played, it will not let it. The rosters are locked. You cannot. Once the first game is started, you cannot make any changes
Oh, well, you
whatsoever.
can in mine.
Oh,
You
really?
can in mine. As long as that player hasn't played, you can take him out.
Wow.
And you can sign a guy for Monday night, for instance.
Mm.
But I think it's the setting that whatever league you play in, it's probably been set that way
Yeah.
where you can't. But mine is more open. I have it in football. In hockey, you can. If you don't get the player in there before the game start, you're done.
Right.
But in football, if that player hasn't played yet and you want to pick up somebody for a late Sunday game or a Monday game, as long as that player hasn't played yet
Yeah.
or his team,
Right.
you can take them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it as is for now in this league, but we'll talk about that in future competition committees in the off season. I don't mind it as well. Even Julio picked up Cam Fowler tonight, and he's the one I'm fighting with right now as we're going to the end. He's got 109 shots, guys. I have 108, and whatever happens there is who's going to win, and he's leading me 11-10 right now. So um, it's been a fun match watching me and Julio. Congratulations to you both, unofficially. As we,
Unofficially.
yeah, we got 10 more minutes in the Ducks game. I'll read the scores off real quick before we sign off. Julio leads me 11-10. The Killer Bunnies are trailing Nick's Frozen Norseman. Dan Hall's losing 15-6. The defending champs look pretty good. 14-5 over Wayland's Washington Wendigo. Pro etiquette, unofficially, could be in the loser column. Scott Lanham, nice work, buddy. I'm nervous about us next week. 12-9, big statement win for them as they cool off Probert. Cherry Bombs and DuPont guys are 9-9 as we speak. So actually, I'm going to take back what I said. I thought me and Julio had the best match. Cherry Bombs and DuPont have turned into a gridlock here. I haven't even dived into their stuff yet, but they are still. Can you imagine Alex getting back-to-back ties? That was Jaden last year.
Yeah.
She overtook Josh's team, so it's not the same franchise. I would say there was something in the water there with that franchise. But and then Stork, it looks like you got a big win, buddy, over your arch rival Mark Wood, 13-7. So kudos there, buddy. It's been a great show, guys. We're just getting started. Week 5 is just about in the books, and I'm excited. Scott, thank you for joining me tonight, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Leaf logos everywhere. I love it.
Yeah. Somebody stumbling upon this is going to be going, what the heck is this? But Nick Reedy, you owe some capital stuff. Get well, sir, if you watch this. I can't wait to get with you again. Scott, you're welcome anytime, buddy. The Ovechkin division champs.
I'm still out on workman's comp, so I'm available.
All right. Yeah. How are you doing, by the way? I was telling Nick to get well. How are you doing, sir? Get well, buddy.
Yeah, my back's still messed up. I was supposed to have a procedure done the other day, but the workman's comp hadn't authorized it yet, so it got put on hold.
Did you do that at work?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. So
yeah,
it's a back issue I've had since 2012 that happened at work, and it just got re-aggravated again.
Wow. Yeah, I slipped last year on some ice going up just 2 steps. Not a big climb at all, and oh man, I was lucky. I did not get hurt too bad. I just had a big bruise on my. I think I just might have had bruised ribs or something. But
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some cleats this year. I ain't taking any chances. I'm not looking forward to ice season, but I am a big fan of cool weather. I'm not a fan of the hot weather, but Starkey, you look great, buddy. Hopefully your power stays on.
I got power.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a shit ton of hockey cards too, man. I want to visit you so bad. I'm coming to your house at the playoff. I'm inviting myself up there at playoff
You're
time.
welcome anytime, Jimmy.
I'll bring Dave and maybe Mark Wood, or not Mark Wood, Mark Raymond. I know Mark Raymond wants to come on this show.
Get him on here.
Scott, you're welcome. Scott, you're welcome anytime, buddy. Just
awesome.
let us know.
Oh,
so
go
ahead.
Close small worlds. So obviously I found out when we were doing the draft that Julio's 10 minutes away. He actually went to a high school with my wife.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so she knows him?
Yeah.
Are they the same age?
I think that or a year younger or something like that.
Wow, that's interesting. That's great. I'll talk to Julio. Yeah, you guys got to meet up, go to a Caps practice or something.
Yeah.
He's like you. I don't know what he does for the government, but tip of the cap to him. He's a contractor. I don't know what he does, but I know he does stuff for the military, something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a hardworking guy. He's more of a shy guy, so I always invite him on here as well. I wanted to get him on here for this matchup that we had. But Julio, if you watch this, buddy, great matchup this week. And you and Scott need to go out to dinner or something, catch a Caps game. I wanted to come back there, Scott, for Sonny Milano Chia Pet night. They're playing Seattle Kraken January 11th.
Say what?
So, I'll keep you posted. If it's a Chia Pet, Sonny Milano's got this hairdo. It's wild. I don't know how he gets his helmet on, to tell you the truth. But the Caps are doing a Chia Pet night giveaway January 11th at Cap One Arena, taking on the Seattle Kraken. So maybe there's a stealth mission in the works. I don't know. Hopefully weather's not too it's usually snowy there that time of year. But I'll keep you posted, buddy. I would love to go. I haven't seen a Caps home game since the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, me neither.
But gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this Sunday night and staying up late with us. Well, me and Stork, it's only 7:30 here. But I can't wait to talk to you guys again. And good luck in your fantasy matchups this week and next. Well, Scott, I hope to beat you, but Starkey,
we can just wish for
a good
matchup.
Yeah, okay. I want to beat you, buddy. But anyways, for Scott Lanham, Nova Fire Brigade there at the DM back in Virginia. My buddy Kevin Stork up there, Surrey, BC, Maple Ridge. I can never
Maple Ridge, BC.
Maple Ridge. And I'm Jimmy the Mailman Milstead the Commish. This has been episode 7 of the Storks Desk. Saluting to you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. It's a great day for hockey, Badger Bob always said.
Yep.
And it's been a great week of hockey. Talk to you all soon as week 6 is already here.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.
Take care, guys.